Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Digital Experience Team retro video going over things that went well and things to improve on from this past iteration. Today is July 15th. And first up for things that went well is Tyler.
Yeah, I got two that come to mind. The first is tactically. Tina, Javi, and I really cruised through on the infographic comparison image, which I'm just like super stoked on. We like finished it ahead of time. It's not released for a variety of like technical and process reasons. We're waiting on some data and some things are broken in the pipeline, but like the thing is ready to go. So as soon as we get data and as soon as we can push to our repository, we could launch this thing and it's good. So we had planned to get that done today. It's been in that state since Monday or Tuesday, and we have and this was a part of the quarterly OKR, so we have plenty of time to like iterate and like even maybe Tina's already on the stretch goals in this too. So I think that's awesome. I feel so proud of that work. So thanks for everyone who's helped out. And then more broadly, we have a broken repository right now, and like a ton of things sort of in the red, and but I think that like the things that went well, reflecting on our Tuesday meeting, Tuesday offsite for inbound marketing, like I think that our team has done a really good job of like advocating for and explaining the reasons why we need to spend more time proactively resolving and getting ahead of issues, and I feel like people are beginning to listen. I think that there's like more work to be done, but I do think that like we've done a really good job of both like compromising where we needed to and to like go above and beyond for people we were working with, and then also like advocating for the things that we actually need. So I'm excited about what's to come, even though like honestly, like we have a lot of things that are basically on fire right now, because we can't push code to our primary repository, which is extremely bad. So, but the attitude is good, I think. And I'll pass it off to Jess.
Yeah, I have been working in Figma a lot more lately, just trying to like crash course my way through everything it can do, and it can do a lot. And I learned how to do variants this week, which is really an awesome way to kind of use your design system. So instead of like having 10 different similar components, you just have one component and change the properties of it. So like for the drop down, you just pull one drop down in, and then you can change it from like open to close, or open with a link, or open with a link in an icon. It's just a really interesting way to do it and kind of cleans it up a bit. So I was pretty stoked to learn that, but I still have so much to learn. There's a lot there. Steven, you're up.
Yeah, so I had a really positive meeting with William, and it kind of gave a good sort of idea around the background of like what features is. He was very receptive to like what we're doing. Usually that can be tricky to sort of communicate what we want to do to somebody who maybe has a vested interest or a history behind something that we're touching, but it was quite the opposite. There was a lot of good insights, definitely learning more about why we have a features page in the state that it's in, not just around the technical dependencies around YAML, but also the request and where it came from within the organization. And then even getting down to the nitty gritty of like what defines a feature. So it's probably got more trickle on to stuff that maybe can happen in Q3, but it was really nice to kind of cross collaborate and not have any kind of confusion sort of after it. It was very clear, very direct. So I'd look forward to more meetings like that with other technical partners across the organization.
I think I'm next. For me, what went really well was using user research to work on the comparison top to bottom page design. It just like really helped validate ideas, assumptions. As Jess mentioned, you do learn something new. Some assumptions that I had about the page were totally not true. For example, I thought the page had too much information. All the users thought they needed all that information in the stage they were in. So had I not done that, I may have gone a different direction. So that's really stuck with me for the rest of, for a lot of the projects coming up next quarter, that, I'm really want to push to allocate time and money into doing that for these types of key pages. Nathan.
Yeah, I just want to shout out, there's a lot of cross-functional planning around the pricing page. recently there's been multiple departments, all sorts of people just making changes to the pricing page, and it started to get a little unmanageable, and then running experiments and what experiments and when. So we had good conversations this week on kind of how to organize that and potentially create a backlog and then pull them in from there. So that was really good. And thanks, Jess and Michael, for helping with that. But I think that's it for what went well. I guess moving on to things to improve on. Tyler, you're up again.
Yeah, thank you. So related note of the things that went well, it was just like, we're experiencing like there's issues and incident reports that document this all, but for people who are watching this and to give more context, like something is broken with our top level repository for www about GitLab. And right now, no one can push to it, or maybe only few people can. And the merge train is stopped, or maybe it wasn't. It might be fixed as of this morning, but like if you can't push anything, does it matter if it's fixed? I don't actually know the exact status of it in this very moment, but I do know that as of 15 minutes ago, I couldn't push up the stuff that I finished today. So that's really bad. And I think everyone else is in that state too. So everyone who's pushing code is blocked, and that's our team, but also because the handbook isn't there, anyone who's updating the handbook or anyone who's working with Netlify CMS, it's really bad. And we have a lot of like we're getting 500 errors from the repository as well, Javi says in the chat. It's just really bad, and like there are a ton of outstanding issues that like people have done a lot of work on, like researching and talking about like what to do to resolve the issues, and they've never made the priority. We've talked a little bit about like things we can do in like limited scopes. We have a lot of like buy-in for repository health day and health week, and I think that's cool. But I think the thing to improve on here is like I don't think that just the small iterations on this are the solve. I think there's like a systemic issue that requires like a sustained effort to fix the like architectural issues that are going on, right? And like I don't know if it's a stop the presses on everything kind of thing, but I think that the balance we have right now between like resolving technical issues and like doing new projects and like getting like doing the other kind of work, I think needs to be flipped on its head, is my opinion on things to improve on. And Barker put some links for context, and I'll cede it to you if you want to talk more about those or other things, or if other people want to jump in here. I just want to like flag it that like it's not sustainable, and like we're at a broken point, and we're fortunate that like the site is still up. And the fallback on this as a statically hosted site is like it probably won't go down, but like probably, I don't know. So, but like we certainly right now, I certainly couldn't make an urgent change to anything if something was like flagrantly wrong. Sorry, and like so I think we're just in a bad state there, and I think we need to get ahead of it in like a very like larger scale sort of way.
I strong +1 to all of that. Stop there. What I'm in really strong disagreement with leadership's stance of don't fix it till it's broken, because when it's broken, that comes right back to the engineers to fix, and that doesn't make our team happy. It's not good for employee satisfaction, all the things. So hopefully we see something change there. I don't have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, I had added on that, it shouldn't need to break before we fix it. But I get this kind of sense of like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Like, oh, I'm sorry that you're frustrated with the repo. And it's, I can go about my day. I can make my grilled cheese sandwich and keep pushing up on my terminal and trying to push code, all day. You can pay me to do that. You're paying me a lot, but like, this is not good for anyone in terms of day-to-day work. But it's shocking that this isn't more of an alarm bell. Like apparently Chad posted that this comes up every couple of months, and this is going to continue to happen. And it doesn't really matter how many like pre-commit fixes we make or like kind of little pieces we take off. Like it's just going to be an ongoing problem because the repo is so huge. So yeah, that's concern that it's it's not like the fire, like we're not all getting paged, like this is pretty big in my mind, but it's strangely not at the same time.
I loved that comment you made back to how if it's happening to us, it could be happening to our customers. And that's going to directly affect GitLab as a business.
Well, it will affect potential plans for future improvements that we want to perform as a team in terms of design and user experience too, because if we have things that are prepped and ready for engineering, but you don't have capacity to do that because you have to maintain a fractured website and just make sure that things don't break, that pushes out everything. And then the relevancy of that, it can go out of date by the time it's ready to roll. So it is obviously a very core engineering issue, but it's actually a user experience issue as well, because if we haven't got designers, or if we haven't got developers to push through experiences, then all we're doing is designing Figma files. We're not actually designing experiences. We're designing potential experiences, but someone could be working on something, and then, like what Tyler says, something breaks. Quick, all hands on deck, and then that design that started gets put on hold. Okay, I better get back on that after it's fixed. Oh, that's going to break it. It just keeps going. So we're just kind of tumbling down the mountain at different speeds.
Well, it's not even the time. Like there's like at this moment, there's like a practicality here. Like I am unclear if I would be able to merge the comparison infographic. I know that no one would be able to go through and enter the data that we need to merge it. So like, I don't know what the resolution time frame is on it. It sounds like there's like, I feel like it seems like people think like it will resolve in some matter of time. Maybe it's today or tomorrow, but like, I don't know. I don't have any details on why that is the prevailing opinion, that we should just wait it out. I don't understand, like I haven't gotten clarity on that. I haven't looked far enough either. But like if this is still the state through the weekend and like as of Monday, it's like all of a sudden I could build your designs, Stephen, but I couldn't send them anywhere. And like I've got 2 or 3 things that live as MRs right now, or like I have one thing that's fully locally on my computer that I can't even push up. And like if something happens to my computer, I'm going to lose that work too. Like, and I'd have to redo it. So that's another, like we're actually blocked. We're like at a standstill for anything, even if we took the time to do those things, as opposed to fixing the problems, we are at a standstill for things we can push to this repository, which is bad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then we could talk all day about the knock-on effect of what that has to like gathering data to understand how pages are performing and how we use that data to inform some of the directives that we want to have with whatever OKRs it is. If we can't, whatever we can't measure, then we can't manage our plan for. So we're just putting ourselves at a longer disadvantage over time. So again, totally hear that it's a technical thing, but to me, it just seems like it's got ramifications to absolutely everything. It's just dominoes falling consistently for us as far as you can see. So the sooner we can stop them falling, the better, I guess.
Cool. I think about the next one. Unless anyone else has stuff on this, but there's a lot of detailed issues and threads going on, so I don't know if we need much more here. It's super, like way smaller. I just totally didn't realize there was a Family and Friends Day this week. I managed to like finish the stuff that I had intended to do on Friday. I'm like stoked on that. But like, and it's not major. This isn't like, I need to look ahead more. I thought that I like usually look like on Mondays for planning. I like look at, or usually on like Fridays, I like go into the planning doc, I add my stuff for the planning doc, I go check the calendar to look for like days off and stuff. And I did that process, but then I didn't see the Family and Friends Day until like Tuesday of this week or something. And so it wasn't huge. I love the Family and Friends Day, but I just like, I know in terms of things to improve, like I need to get better at like, there's a handbook page that lists them. So I think I just need to include that in my rotation of, hey, look at the calendar, look for the holidays, and also look at the handbook page. But I don't know, maybe maybe I'll ask someone if they can like put it on the company calendar or something, because that would be super useful.
I just looked at the handbook page while we were talking, and the only upcoming day, Friends and Family Day, is like the one this week. So I don't know who's in charge of that, but if they happen to be listening, it would be so nice to have that more in advance, both to plan like our work, like you said, like put it into the sprint, know that we have one less day to do things, but also, you know, personally, like if you have a day off, you might want to do something, and it's hard to do that last minute a lot of the time. So
Sorry, I was just looking it up in the repo to see when it was edited, when the 16th was added. So it was 2 weeks ago. It was added to the handbook page, the 16th. So that sounds like that's when it was decided, which is short notice, I think. Like, I think that's shorter notice than a lot of the ones that we've had. So I think we're not all like imagining it. This was short notice. Yeah.
Today, Craig announced that the next one was August 27th. So I think it's a matter of updating the handbook page. I think you're right. It would be nice to know. Somebody knows. It would be nice for us to know as well. But yeah, the next one's August 27th.
Just gonna like jump in here. Yeah, link to that MR that's in process. It's kind of weird to be having a conversation about, oh, well, they gave us a day off, but oh, I got work to do. That doesn't work for me. Like, it just seems weird, but I want the day off. Of course. So
Don't take it away.
no
yeah,
complaints
but
about
don't
that.
take it away. So like,
Yeah, I don't not want it. I feel bad because sometimes I make commitments. I'm like, I'll use this Friday to like deliver on my commitment, and then I don't have it, and like I will take the day off because I appreciate it and I value that, and that's like the correct thing to do. But then I have to like adjust my commitment, which I think people are understanding of. I feel bad readjusting my commitment this late in the game. I think that's all it is. Is like I don't like doing that for folks who are depending on me to come through with a thing.
I think in the handbook, it says somewhere that if you can't take time off on that day, you can repurpose it to another day. So while we could take that strategy too, like if you feel like maybe tomorrow isn't the best day, use it next week or next Friday.
That's a good point. Maybe I'll do that too. And that's a proactive thing that doesn't rely on like other people to change what they're doing for me to like get the benefits there. Because that really like I was just like ready to do the thing tomorrow. Right. And it's like I was just like ready. I just like had it in my head. I was like, I had it all planned, and I don't know. Sometimes it's like I just want to capitalize on that momentum, and maybe I'd rather take a Tuesday off or something when I don't have a plan for yet.
And we could move our in Slack, have a discussion, and if we want, move our sprint planning to Tuesday. If instead the Monday works better, whenever, that's all. Or we could all do it async too. We also don't need to have a meeting.
Cool. Unless anyone has any last minute thoughts, I think that rounds out this retro. Going once. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time.